Arkansas lawmakers reviewed the arrest in a double murder at Devil's Den State Park. Also, state legislators hear urgent calls to address prison overcrowding amid a proposed new prison. And incoming Arkansas senior John Daly II advances to the U.S. Amateur quarterfinals. Those headlines and more coming up on KASU News for Friday, August 15th, 2025. I'm Brandon Tabor. Yesterday, Arkansas lawmakers reviewed the arrest in a recent double murder case. Prosecutors say Andrew James McGann fatally stabbed Clinton and Kristen Brink, a married couple who were vacationing in Devil's Den State Park. The couple was with their daughters during the attack. At the hearing, lawmakers commended State Police Director Colonel Mike Hagar for the quick investigation. Hagar said the case was unusual because McGann was a stranger to the couple he killed.
A random act that there's no personal connection between a suspect and a victim is actually extremely rare. Honestly, most homicide investigations are not necessarily whodunits.
The hearing disclosed few new details, though Hagar said police were able to cross-reference surveillance camera footage with the suspect's car. McGann entered a not guilty plea in circuit court yesterday. Defendants in death penalty cases often make this plea at the first hearing. A public defender is representing him. Arkansas lawmakers are hearing urgent calls to address prison overcrowding. On Wednesday, the Senate and House City, County, and Local Affairs Committee met in Rogers. The Arkansas Advocate reports that lawmakers reviewed forecasts showing the state could need up to 2,000 more prison beds by 2040. Consultant Wendy Ware told the committee that the Protect Arkansas Act will add to the need since the 2023 law ends parole for the most serious offenders, among other things. A proposed 3,000-bed prison in Franklin County to increase prison capacity has drawn criticism over its cost, site selection, and impact on nearby communities. A man charged with running a human trafficking operation in Hot Springs has been arrested. Xinguang Gary Liu was taken into custody by U.S. Marshals in Oklahoma earlier this week. The arrest came after Arkansas Attorney General Tim Griffin started a formal investigation into human trafficking fronts earlier this year. Griffin says the investigation led to a raid of 3 massage parlors in Hot Springs last month.
Information gathered during the raids indicated that Liu was the owner of all 3 businesses and likely owned other such establishments elsewhere in the country because he's not based here.
Griffin says Liu is a naturalized U.S. citizen who resides in California but owns several businesses across the country. 3 human trafficking victims were found during the July raids. Griffin says they were lured to the U.S. by people working with Liu. Griffin warned that customers who patronize illicit massage parlors can also become part of the investigation.
If you are in Arkansas and you're supporting these illicit massage parlors as a customer, you are engaged in a risky venture. If we catch you, we're going to put your picture right here with all the others, and it's not going to be a good day for you. And what you're doing is you're supporting human trafficking.
Griffin said authorities seized $16,000 in cash, including currency from the U.S., China, and other foreign countries. Liu is currently being held in Oklahoma. Griffin said he will be extradited to Arkansas and tried in Garland County. The Arkansas Department of Health will cut 30 employee positions, including 6 vacant positions, on November 1st. The Arkansas Democrat-Gazette reports employees were notified on August 1st. Spokeswoman Ashley Whitlow says the move is part of a restructuring effort to better align resources with the agency's budget priorities and long-term goals. Programs affected include hometown health support services, public health emergency preparedness, and the Office of Health Disparities Elimination. Willow says the cuts are expected to save nearly $3 million. Next, U.S. Representative Rick Crawford visits Israel with other members of Congress. We'll have more after the break.
I'm KASU Station Manager Mark Smith. Like many small rural stations across the country, congressional action to eliminate funding for public media sends KASU and all public radio into an uncharted future. But we remain certain about our mission and our commitment to you and to our community. You can help through contributing at kasu.org/give. As we navigate the path ahead, your continued partnership and financial support is crucial. We're grateful for you. Thank you.
Last week, members of the U.S. House Intelligence Committee visited Israel to meet with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to be updated on the war. U.S. Arkansas Representative Rick Crawford was one of the members in attendance. Speaking to the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, Crawford applauded Israel for trying to provide aid to Gaza, but said the aid is difficult to provide.
They actually, in most cases, will intercept that food aid and then will find ways to turn it into cash so they can fund their own operations. Instead of giving it to people, they're selling it to people. For example, a pound of sugar that we wouldn't think anything about might be $250.
Earlier this summer, a report from the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs found Israel was blocking most of the humanitarian aid from entering Gaza. Missouri's Republican governor says there's no firm plan to call a special session on redrawing the state's congressional map. KFVS reports Governor Mike Keogh discussed the idea yesterday at the governor's ham breakfast at the Missouri State Fair, saying district lines have been a concern for years, but there's no decision. State Republican leaders are weighing changes that could make the Kansas City area district more favorable to the GOP as other states consider mid-decade map changes. California's Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom announced that the state would take another look at its maps if Texas proceeded with changes urged by President Donald Trump. California uses an independent redistricting commission that may require approval from state lawmakers and voters to make changes. Meanwhile, back in Missouri, Democratic U.S. Representative Emanuel Cleaver represents the Kansas City area. He told KFVS that urban areas should not be denied representation reflecting their views. In Central Arkansas, a Jacksonville woman has been arrested for allegedly posing as a Pulaski County Sheriff's deputy. 27-year-old Jolissa Williams is accused of submitting a forged job offer letter from the Sheriff's Department to obtain free services from a property management company. A news release from the department says Williams faces felony counts of second-degree forgery and criminal impersonation. State officials have issued health advisories for 2 bodies of water in southern Arkansas. The Department of Energy and Environment warns visitors to stay away from Lake June in Lafayette County and Maddox Park Pond in Union County. Both bodies of water are under harmful algae bloom advisories, and the bacteria in them can cause sickness. Symptoms can include headaches, shortness of breath, and gastrointestinal illness. Priscilla Presley's former business partners have filed a lawsuit seeking over $50 million, alleging fraud and breach of contract. Brigitte Cruz and Kevin Fialco filed the lawsuit this week in Los Angeles. They claim Presley used them to do business with her name and image, hiding that she sold those rights decades ago. Lawsuit follows Presley's own lawsuit against them last year, accusing them of financial elder abuse. Cruz and Fialco say they invested heavily in revitalizing Presley's brand. They allege Presley denied selling her rights and illegally cut them from her business plan. Presley is the 80-year-old former wife of Elvis Presley. In amateur golf, incoming Arkansas senior John Daly II won 2 matches yesterday at the Olympic Club to advance to the U.S. Amateur quarterfinals as more top-ranked players dropped out. That's all for KASU News. Music provided by 2B Studio. You can find more stories online at kasu.org. Also, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for KASU News on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcast. In Jonesboro, I'm Brandon Tabor, KASU News.